Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's get on to our first point of conversation tonight, and is one of the states that experienced the first case of coronavirus. Tonight, 36 states of the Federation have recorded cases of COVID-19. Nasarawa State is the latest of those. Let's speak with the governor on the situation and what he and his team are doing to curtail the spread. We say have about 2 states that are yet to experience or report any case of coronavirus. I'm now being joined on the program by the Nasarawa State Governor, Governor Abdullahi Sule. Thank you so much, Governor Sule, for joining us tonight. Well, I know it's been a tough one because you have tried your best in ensuring that you do not have a case. But now that you have a case, I do know that it will take about 8 hours or more to travel between Kano and Nasarawa State. But you have said that the first case is that of a young lady who came from Kano State. Now, are you making extra effort like we saw in Kaduna? Or what are your immediate response to the situation on hand?
Well, Sharon, first and foremost, we thank the Almighty Allah for even making us not experience any index until the day like this, today. If you consider our proximity to the federal capital, you will think that by now Nasarawa State will be far more than 1 index cases. Unfortunately for us, we only have 1. Now, when you talk about the preparations, since the breakout of this pandemic, Nasarawa State has been up and going. As I have said many times, each time there was an extra case in FCT, we became even more ready in Nasarawa State because of our proximity. Most of the lower cadre workers, living in the FCT actually happen to be here. Now, the issue with this lady is actually a very surprising one, because if there was going to be any infection, we were thinking it was going to come from the FCT. But right now, this is a lady, who is from Nasarawa State, from Kokona local government area, Garaku to be specific. But she was actually living in Kano, and then recently she moved from Kano and came to Karu, and came to Karu, local government close to the FCT, and then from there she came home. But we have a standing order in Nasarawa State that our high risk are those who are coming either from outside the country or those who are coming from either Kano or Lagos. We consider them high risk. So anytime they are in Nasarawa State, we try to look for them, barricade them, and if possible, isolate them, and then from there we take their samples. And that's what happened to this lady. Luckily, we were able to catch her on time. And right now, as I'm talking to you, we have isolated the entire household where she was staying, while we have moved her from Garaku, where we found her, the moment we realized she is positive. Now she is in Lafia, where preparations have been made actually to receive people like her.
So, as of now, we understand that there are about 200 travelers that have been arrested coming into Nasarawa State. Is this a deliberate effort in ensuring that there isn't any kind of movement in and out of your state?
No, well, what happened, I think that's an agreement the governors decided, when it comes to the issue of the Almajiris and the rest of that. But in addition to that, we have a lot of people that move from Lagos. One time we caught about 48 of them that came from Lagos and they were going to Plateau. So we caught them, wanting to stay here in Nasarawa State. So you have a lot of these movements, and I'm happy that Mr. President yesterday decided that the interstate lockdown actually stands. By that, we are hoping that we won't be able to be seeing this kind of thing. But even if we have this number of people shown, as far as we are concerned in Nasarawa State, we have about 5 isolation centers that have the capacity to take not less than 400 people right now. So, and if needs be, we will increase. Locally, we only have 1 case for now.
Governor, are you shutting down your borders right as we speak? Because a lot of people, especially in the border communities bordering Abuja, Karu, and all what have you, Lafia, there are a lot of people who work in Abuja but live in Nasarawa State. Are you locking down your borders to movement in and out?
We have locked down our borders over 2 weeks ago. But you have all these so-called social services, special services, and the rest of that. And my biggest headache has been the FCT Abuja border, because you have hundreds of people, who will tell you they are providing one kind of essential services or the other, and majority of them are either some VIPs or people who have passes. So I have been to those borders several times myself in order to go and check it. We have border with Plateau, we have border with Benue, we have border with Kaduna, we have border with FCT. And the biggest problem we have is mostly with the border with FCT. That is the one at Kauru. So that's the busiest border we have. And then the security people are having actually a hell day over there. But that's we are doing our best. Right now, we've been lucky. The military have also assisted us with some officers, so we have provided some military at the borders. That has restricted some level of movements, but it's still some movements.
But before I ask you about how much of the tracing you're doing, so in real sense, you're flagging movement from Kano, Lagos, and Lagos might be difficult because of air travel, but in the real sense of it, any movement from Kano and the FCT, you are flagging it.
We are flagging Lagos. Surprisingly, what you said is supposed to be what you said. But however, we have more people coming from Lagos into Nasarawa than we have from Kano coming into Nasarawa State. So how they are able to pass all the various borders, that's why I'm telling you that with the pronouncement by the president and the directive that all the interstate borders should be locked, just like we are locking our own borders, hopefully that will reduce. Just a few days ago, I told you 48 people we got, coming all the way to Akwanga in Nasarawa State from Lagos. And every now and then you still receive them. The movement to Kano is mostly some of these traders who go overnight to go and buy some clothing and come back. So they are able to pass only two major borders, the one in Kaduna and then the one in Kano. But the one in Lagos is the one that should surprise you. They will pass Ogun, Oyo, Kwara, Kogi, and all the rest of that, to come all the way to Nasarawa State, unfortunately.
So the 200 travelers that you have arrested, are you keeping them or what are you doing to them?
No, most of them, what we do is that the moment we receive them, we take their body temperature. We take them actually to the Polytechnic here in Lafayette, and then keep them there to take their body temperature and to see if they have any signs and to ask any questions about them, similar to the three major high risk, medium risk, and the low risk that you have. So if we see that we don't have any issues, and majority of them, sometimes they are just passing by, so some of them that are passing by, we take them now all the way to our borders, and then we release them to go. But we make sure we check them, and that we cannot afford to say we test every one of them because we don't have a testing center here in Nasarawa State. All we do is we take samples at our various testing centers, and we send them either to Plateau or we send them to FCT for test.
We just have less than a minute to go on break, Governor Sule. But in those few seconds we have, quickly tell me, Governor, how many of the contact tracing have you successfully, especially of the index case that you have now?
No, we only have one index case, but we have tested over 200 people in Nasarawa State so far, including the person speaking to you right now. So, we have taken samples of several people, sent their sample for test and tested them. So far, out of these close to 200 people, we've only got one. That's why I'm telling you that we are so lucky with the results that we are getting.
So, Governor, apologies. What I was asking is the index case and the contact of this index case in terms of contact tracing. How much of that have you been able to get, and how many people are you looking for to get down out of the people who are made contact?
No, it's less than 10 people in the house. The household where this lady was in Okona, is roughly about 10 people. Now, what we are trying to find out from her is when she came to Karu, how many people was she able to contact, and we are tracing that. But for the house where we got her from, that we isolated at the moment, the whole house is actually isolated and we have security around that. But those are just about 10 people.
Governor Abdullahi Sule, Governor of Nasarawa, said, thank you so much for your thought and the time that you have, especially at this moment of Ramadan. And I wish you the very best in your effort in curtailing the spread of coronavirus in Nasarawa State.
Thank you, Sheun. I appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll focus on the controversies over the contaminated palliatives. We get insight from NAFDAC tonight. They'll be telling us what happened exactly. Join us after this break, everyone.